Let's get started with the busts. Wow.
And
so
we should also, we each have come up with our own lists, and we're going to debate this as we go. So we've now kind of seen each other's lists. We've kind of laughed a little bit because there's
some
a bit
similarity,
of
actually.
a lot of similarities. The biggest bust of the decade is the best college wide receiver I've ever seen. Forget Larry Fitzgerald, as great as he was. The best college receiver of this decade was Charlie Rogers at Michigan State. And he came into what seemed like a pretty solid place to go. Detroit was the #2 pick. He played at Michigan State. He had the backing going in, and he had a good first couple games or so. And then he broke his collarbone.
Yeah.
And then he started smoking a lot of pot.
Right. And the work ethic, he wasn't going to practices on time. It just was terrible. He didn't recover from his injuries.
He was so physically talented. 6'5", around 220, ran about a 4.4, 4.5.
Yes.
He is what Calvin Johnson, there's almost a similarity in that regard.
Megatron.
And now he apparently, I read that he wants to make a comeback. Well, everybody wants to make a comeback.
Yeah.
And, it's just a complete waste of talent.
He should get an opportunity if he has to go through a very, very thorough interviewing process with
very
whoever.
Stringent requirements to get it. And but now he's 30.
Yeah.
So it may just be too late.
And you know who he was drafted in front of?
Remind me.
Andre Johnson.
Andre Johnson
Right
went number 3.
3 in that draft. Yeah,
And Andre Johnson has been debatably the best receiver of the decade.
Right, absolutely. And coincidentally as well, he was the 2nd overall pick out of Michigan State. The last 2nd overall pick to come out of Michigan State, Tony Mandrich.
Talk about bust. If we did this show 10 years ago, that would have been the bust of the night.
Yeah. Number 2, I know you had him in your top 5, and I have number 2, Darko Milicic. What about Milicic is that he was the number 2 pick as well, and then he had Detroit, who ended up still winning the championship, not drafting Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, or Dwayne Wade. And of course, Braun was in front of him.
Yes.
LeBron.
And Darko is now sitting, ironically, on the bench with,
the New York Knicks.
The number 2 person who, since I skipped him, it was Bodie Miller. And if you remember, Bodie Miller was supposed to be the star of the '06 Winter Olympics and decided instead of really worrying about his 5 events, he wanted to party like an all-star, which he did, and I can't blame him for it. Right. But not winning a gold medal and pretty much just deciding to, for all intents and purposes, sham away the Olympics is unacceptable. And he's trying to come back in 2010. Instead, he's taking it a little bit more seriously, which I guess will be in about a month or 2. And I wish him, you wish him well. Yeah. But still, it was just an unacceptable performance.
It was a shame. And I have on number 3, Anna Kournikova, which she definitely is busty, but definitely of athletic prowess. She was ranked number 8 in November of 2000. She was definitely one of the top junior players in the world in the mid to late 90s, and definitely had a lot of talent. But she had a lot of injuries, and also too during her times of having injuries, she was more concerned about her modeling career instead of and also being attached to megastars like Enrique Iglesias. I think she still lives in. She's probably right. But Anna Kournikova, not much respect to what she's done outside of the tennis court, because she really has made a brand for herself.
And a lot of charitable endeavors.
Absolutely. And she's a gorgeous woman too. No question. She definitely took advantage of that. But on the tennis court, never winning a WTA event at all,
for someone of that talent was unacceptable.
Yeah, it's unacceptable.